Hey everyone, the first quarter of 2023 is done, so let's have a look at how I'm doing with my goals and with our first goals check-in for Q1. And I'm doing so-so. Let's start with the reading goals, the reading stats, and then move on to life goals. So my reading stats, I'm doing rather well. I have read 25 books so far, 13 of which have been audiobooks, 9 ebooks, and 3 physical books only. But that's okay. I listened to 6,030 minutes, which is on average 2,000 minutes per month, which is the normal average I usually reach. So I'm doing quite well there. And I've read about 3,214 pages, which also averages out with 1,000 pages per month, which is also pretty normal for me. Looking at the average length of what I'm reading, I'm currently at 268 pages and at 464 minutes, which is a little bit higher than last year. But also I read a 1,000+ page book and listened to a huge big chunker. I think it was 30 hours plus. So maybe that's going to drop in the next quarter again. We'll see. Let's look at the few other things that I'm tracking. I have currently read 2 books by German authors, 4 nonfiction books, 4 classics or modern classics, 3 books in translation, 3 books were rereads. I've read 4 sequels. Some of those were rereads, and I've started a new series. So that's not so bad. I'm doing quite well. I'm also tracking LGBTQIA content this year, and I've read 5 books that I would categorize as that. I don't really have some strict rules, but I noticed last year that with the story graph, that section, a lot of books that I would categorize as LGBTQIA plus were not categorized there in their genre breakdown. So I wanted to see how many or what I'm reading. And I'm already counting books that have queer characters in any form and not only deal with the idea of LGBTQIA plus in any form, but just include characters and even main characters without it being a huge plot point. Does that make sense? Anyways, I read 5 books so far that I would categorize or put into that category. With tracking authors, I'm very superficial. I'm looking a little bit for the gender breakdown, but not in detail. What I'm more interested in is not only reading books by US or UK authors. So I'm trying to track countries, and so far I'm doing okay. I still expect to be half of my books that I'm reading to come from the US or from the UK, but I would like to have the authors of the other half of the books to come from somewhere else. Of course, tracking only the country of the author will eliminate any other identifiers of minorities that could be tracked, like Black Americans or people of color from the UK or Asian Americans. All of that falls into the America or British country. So it's not perfect, but at the moment, what I'm interested in is more to see that I'm reading books that are not focused on the UK and the US. Does that make sense? So like I said, so far I'm quite happy with what I've read and how the reading stats looks. Now let's look at some of the goals that I set for my reading, because I wanted to read a German author per month this year. So far I've read 2 German authors, and you can tell Q1 has 3 months. I missed a month already. But that was a big classic I read, so I'm okay with that. But I need to keep my focus on that one. Another focus I want to have this year is to finish my reread of the Discworld novels, which are 13 more novels to go, and I only read 1 in the first quarter, so I need to pick up pace there as well. Another loose goal that is not really specified for the year is that I want to read more books by authors that I've liked in the past. For Q1, I wanted to focus on Jennifer Egan, Catherine M. Valente, and Gabrielle Zevin. I read 1 book by Gabrielle Zevin, none by the others. So I'm going to take those authors over to Q2 and maybe add Shakespeare and Brandon Sanderson. And those are the more specific reading goals I have. I also made the goal of trying to read more classics and to specify what kind of classics, to make a list so I can just pick books from that list. And I started it, but it's not very detailed yet. So I really don't know. I always think I need to make a list, but I never do. But I know the books that I want to read, so I don't know why I can't just write them down and make a list. If anyone has a solution for that, just let me know. So overall, reading is going well, and let's move on to life goals then. With my life goals, I didn't do as well. My overall goal is to basically stop being such a mess and be more organized and have more energy again. So that's all consumed in the theme of stop being such a mess. In detail, that means that I want to focus on keeping things clean and tidy, and I want to look into meal prep so that I can eat better and have a better grip on what I'm eating and when I'm eating and things like that. For the energy part, I want to focus on exercise a lot. I also want to stop starting things all the time and have too many projects going on, and maybe decide that I need to finish things earlier and abandon them, like video ideas or the Korean learning or even series that I'm watching that I've started, or even DNFing books. All of that would fall into the finish and abandon things faster. Since I've been turning more and more into a hermit during the pandemic, one of the goals there for the year is to go out more and do stuff, just as well as to own my wins. Now, that's the overall yearly goals. For the Q1, I just set myself 3 specific goals. That was to find go-to resources for meal prep. Now, I must say I did some research that I am quite happy with, because it really changed my idea of what meal prep actually means and gave me some ideas of how to deal with the problems I have with eating. So that's not so bad, but it slacked off in March. Basically, I was too busy, I didn't care, and I lost appetite again, so I wasn't eating much, or not regularly enough and well-prepared foods, which is the goal of the meal prep, that I don't often go to the cafeteria at work and just eat something that's there. And yeah, so I want to continue doing that to incorporate better snacks, healthier snacks, and preparing things in advance. Let's see how that goes in Q2. Another specific goal I set myself for Q1 was an exercise goal. I wanted to get back into my old morning exercise routine that I had going before I got COVID last year. I've been struggling to get back into the routine and proper workouts that I used to have. Normally, I think of a proper morning exercise of 30 minutes. So on Mondays, I would like to cycle for 30 minutes. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go running. On Wednesdays, I would like to have a strength workout. On Fridays, some yoga. And on Saturday, I go on a long run and rest on Sundays. Now, with the running, I've been doing okay-ish, that I managed to go running on those days, most days, but not always for 30 minutes. I'm currently on a 20-minute 3K fast run, which is okay. It's quite fun. I haven't done any proper strength workouts at all this year. I found a lot of 5-minute workouts or 10-minute workouts standing, where you don't have to shower afterwards. So I've been moving myself in the morning because I need that to just become human, but not in a way that is increasing strength or building resilience in the muscles and anything. Yeah, even with the cycling, I wasn't doing so well. And don't ask me about yoga. I don't think I've done any yoga this year. So this goal, of course, keeps going for the Q2, that I get into the proper workout morning routine again. The last specific goal I set myself for Q1 was to look around for different Korean learning sources and try the Rocket Language course. If you don't know, I decided about 1.5 years ago that I wanted to learn Korean for whatever reasons, and just to do something that doesn't have any benefit for work and is something completely different. And I started with the Pimsleur courses. I really enjoyed those. But after that, there was a lack of what I could do. And I haven't found a proper supplement or anything that is similar. For me, the Pimsleur courses work well because I can do them outside while I'm on my walk, and I can practice while doing something else and not computer-based. That's what I was looking for. And I couldn't really find anything last year. So I thought I'll invest some time to look around, and I found a few different things that are recommended, and I tried the Rocket Language course, but I noticed very fast that this is just a different Pimsleur one. It will bring me to the same level, it works similarly, and it's okay done, but it doesn't change the fact that afterwards I need something else. I've been using a lot of Duolingo for the last few months, almost a year, to practice, because that was an easy way to do it But I noticed that during March, when I was so busy at work and so exhausted, that I was just doing it to keep my streak going. But I wasn't learning anything and I wasn't enjoying it. So I allowed myself to stop using Duolingo and take a break from learning Korean. I haven't completely given up yet. I have noticed that there is hardly any other way than having to learn on a computer or on your phone or by books. But everything has to do with sitting down again. And that's a struggle because I'm working on a computer all day. So I'm struggling with spending more time after work to study and learn. It's just the brain space isn't there. So I found something that's called 90 Day Korean, where I tried some of their programs so far, and it sounds like it gives you a flexibility that you could just do the whole work for the week on the weekend. And it's PDF based, as far as I understand it. So my goal for Q2 is to try that and see if I can implement that into my daily routine or monthly routine, weekly routine, whatever, and progress on learning there. Because what I really noticed with doing Duolingo only for a few months was that I didn't progress. So the joy of learning a language is not there if you don't progress, if you feel like you're stuck. Although the changes that Duolingo made in the recent months, I didn't completely enjoy. I didn't hate them like other people, but I also didn't enjoy them as I thought I might enjoy them more. So I gave up on that. So overall, the life situation is still dependent on how work is going. Currently, I have been making progress on all the backlog and the things that were stressing me out, but I don't know how far or how much I can solve everything that I would like to solve in April. And I'm expecting May, June from then on things to be better because we're getting new people, hopefully good people this time. So I will see how much I can manage in this next quarter for my life goals, and then we'll have summer, and summer is always better for me because I'm a summer person. So hoping for all the things that I'm preparing now to really kick in Q3. I'll tell you when we have our Q2 check-in. Let me know in comments how you're doing. Are your reading goals met? Are you on track or are you behind? Are you changing some of your goals? Are you happy with the goals you made, or did you make some new goals? Let's talk in comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.